everyone, my name is Lolu. Thank you for joining me on Chronicles of Lolu today. It is episode 9 and today on the show I'm speaking about public speaking. Did you see what I did there? Speaking about public speaking. But before I go though, thank you to all of you that are sending your comments, your feedback. I'm truly grateful on Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you so much. Remember, you can leave your comments on the page below and also remember to subscribe to the channel Chronicles of Lolu. Before I go further, I'll go for my traditional break. When I come back, the Chronicles will begin. Today again, it's public speaking time. Now, next question is this: who is a public speaker, or who are those that publicly speak? Now, these are people that actually go out of their comfort zone to discuss on different topics. It could be from entertainment to sports, it could be social issues, it could be social causes, it could be philanthropy, it could be anything really. As long as you are out of your comfort zone and speaking to an audience or a group of people, you are publicly speaking. Now the question is, how does this happen? Do people go to school to learn public speaking? Some people actually go to school, some sort of school, to actually learn how to publicly speak. Others, just like myself, are naturally gifted to just speak publicly to a number of people on various topics. Now again, even though we are talented enough to speak publicly on various topics, we never take it for granted. It is very, very important for you to know that. So here's what we'll do. Today on the show, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can be a better public speaker, or even learn from ground how to be a public speaker. All you just have to do is take note of the following steps. Now, if you want to start to be a public speaker from the start, you need to know exactly where your strength lies. Are you the kind of person that likes to speak offhand? Are you the person that likes to speak using pointers? If you like to speak offhand, then you need to know exactly what you are discussing, which brings me to the fact that you need to read. I have to learn to memorize stuff. It is very, very important. For you to be a public speaker, it is important for you to know whatever it is that you say carries a lot of weight. So it is very, very important for you to read. The way you read your text messages and your Instagram feeds and your Twitter lines, exactly. You have to pick up a book, you have to pick up a material and learn exactly what you're speaking about. Also, another way you could be a public speaker, if you're starting out from scratch, is to listen to other people that are public speakers. For you to want to start to be a public speaker, you need to have understood the art of it, and you probably want to tailor your trade or your style of public speaking to a particular person. It could be people like Tyler Perry, it could be people like the President of the Nation, it could be like Barack Obama, it could be like Bill Gates, anybody really. And once you tailor, or once you know what their style is, you now start to tailor yourself gradually doing that. It is very, very important for you to have people to look up to, people that you see as mentors, even though you never get to meet them, and learn from them. Again, I didn't say copy them, I said learn from them. Never feel the need to copy anybody's style. Learn from them and develop your own style. That's the only way you can be sellable, and that is the only way you can stand out. Another thing you also need to take into cognizance with regards to being a public speaker from the ground up is this: learn to be confident. Confidence breeds confidence. If you're confident in yourself, people will be confident in you. If you're confident in what you're saying, people will also be confident listening to you. Confidence comes as a result of you knowing your stuff. It is very, very important for you to know your stuff. Again, learn to practice, learn to hear yourself speak. It's very, very important. Stay in a mirror like myself. Look this way, look into a mirror, record yourself. Or take your phone, record yourself. Hearing the audio, know if you're a stutterer or if you're a stammerer, and look for a way to work around it. Again, you need to see what your posture looks like when you're publicly speaking, which is why sometimes you need to stand in front of the mirror and speak to yourself. It helps you breed confidence, and it also helps you bring composure, which is another very, very integral part of being a public speaker. Make sure you train yourself to speak well, and make sure you train yourself to pronounce words properly. Again, punctuations, accents, and all of that, you need to get that right. Remember, you do not know everything, so it's important for you to learn new words every day. And more importantly, you need to know your stuff. It is very, very important. Now, if you're a public speaker already, here are a few tips that can actually help you become even better. If you're a public speaker already, one thing you need to do is this: take a look at all of your tapes, take a look at all of your sessions before, take a look at all the mistakes you made, be very, very objective about it, and learn from them. It is very, very important for you to do that. Also, don't be afraid to ask people questions. People that are older in the profession than you are, ask them questions. To be honest with you, nobody knows everything. So it is very, very important for you to ask questions. Thirdly, learn to teach people. As awkward as it might sound, learn to teach people, because then again, you're teaching yourself and you're learning from them as well. Nobody knows everything. Rome wasn't built in a day. More importantly, you are not the bag of knowledge you think you are. Unfortunately, people think they know it all, and for that reason, they are almighty. But the truth is, the day you stop learning is the day you die. When you teach other people, you're also reteaching yourself and you're also learning from them. Nobody knows it all. Nobody knows everything infinitely. Now, also finally, before you actually realize the fact that you are everything that you want to be in terms of a public speaker, you need to understand that you need to pace yourself. It is very, very important for you to pace yourself. The words that you want to use, make sure they are the exact words. Don't say because you have enough knowledge, dribble on your way through a topic. Be very concise, be very precise, be very straightforward. You need to also learn, sift out whatever it is that you want to tell people. Do not feel like you have a lot of information and everybody feels the need to know the kind of knowledge you have. It's one thing for you to be speaking, it's one thing for you to communicate. Two things. Even though you're speaking, you also have to learn to communicate. So it's very, very important for you to communicate. Don't say that you have enough knowledge and try to impose that knowledge on people. No. Be concise, be precise, be deliberate, and hit the nail on the head. I hope these things help. If you're a public speaker, I hope you understand what I've said. And if you don't agree with me, please drop your comments below. And if this helps also, be more than happy to drop your comments below. Thank you for listening. When I come back, I'll be taking your questions on social media. It is Chronicles of Lolu, and today, like I said, it is public speaking time. Stay here, don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Chronicles of Lolu. Thank you to all of you again for joining me on the show today. On the episode, I've spoken about public speaking, and I'm hoping that these tips that I've shared today have helped you become a better public speaker and have also laid the foundation for you to be a public speaker. In my usual tradition, I have to take your questions today. Now let's see, got a couple of questions on Instagram. I think the first one here is from Afie_E on Instagram, and you say, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? That's actually a very fantastic question. I see myself in 5 years' time in politics. I see myself being a husband and a father. I see myself involved in the media space one way or the other. In 5 years' time, I see myself owning a few investments in steel. And in 5 years' time, I want to be one of Africa's foremost philanthropists. I hope I've answered your questions. And again, I'm very, very hopeful that I can achieve these things. It's one thing for me to see myself doing these things. It's also important for me to work hard and work towards these things as well. But Afi, thanks for your question again. Next question today is from B_Stings1 on Twitter. You said beauty or brains if you had to pick just one. I'll pick brains time and again. For me, cerebral people are people that I can easily relate with, and it's something that I'm very, very keen on. Anybody can be beautiful, but not anybody can be really intelligent and smart, and that's something I'm very, 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 very attracted to. I'm a sapiosexual of some sort. So again, brains over beauty, any day, anytime. By the way, shout out to all the fine girls of the world. I've got nothing but love for you. Nothing but love. Let's see, who else is here? Instagram, this is from TJ Funberry. The question is, how did you develop yourself? Like, you were so intelligent. Thank you. How did I develop myself? That is very easy. I keep learning every day. I read everything that I can find, and I'm of the opinion that I do not know everything. No matter how intelligent I am as a person, I'm never satisfied. I'm always looking for more knowledge, and I'm always looking to learn new things every single day. I never limit myself to what I can learn, and that is how I've come this far. As much as you think that I'm intelligent, as much as I see myself as intelligent, I am also making sure that every day I go out of my comfort zone to learn new things. It could be new facts, it could be new language, it could be new methods, it could be new science, it could be new social issues, it could be anything. Again, never limit yourself. That is one thing I've learned going forward, and that's one thing I'll continue to do going forward. My final question today, incidentally, all my questions have been from Instagram and Twitter as usual, but my last question today is from LuckyStar8791 on Instagram, and the question is, do you have plans to go into full-time politics? Yes, I have plans, but then again, I understand the fact that I am not a public face just yet. That's big enough to run for an elected post. What I know is that I have a face and I have a clout, and maybe I will start by being appointed into positions where I could pay my dues and then finally work my way up to the ladder where I could decide to run for an elected office. That was the first part of your question. The second part is also, what odd jobs have you done on your way to the top? Washed plates. Yeah, I think I did that at some point in my life. My sister will be surprised if I did that out. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, by the way. What else have I done that's odd? Well, I used to write assignments for people. I'm not sure if that counts as odd, but I remember washing plates was definitely something that I did that was pretty odd. You know, I just come there, people were always looking at this fine boy washing plates, but I was always doing it with all the possible love that I could possibly have in my heart, because at that time I had to make ends meet, and I literally just lost my mother at the time, so things were a bit difficult. Yeah, I think these are like the two major things that I think are quote unquote odd. Now, final question for me, Lucky Star 8791 on Instagram. And you go for laughs finally. Have you ever been a school or lesson teacher for kids? Lesson teacher. I am not sure that I've been a lesson teacher. I know that I've taught before. I've taught kids before, but I wasn't like a lesson teacher per se. I've also taught adults before, which was a while back. I think I taught web design and English language as a 19-year-old a long time ago. This was over 10 years ago, but I remember teaching web design and English language to elderly people old enough to be my parents at that particular point in time. I'm hoping that I've answered your questions, and I'm hoping that my answers have also sufficed as well. When I come back, I'll wrap up the show for today. Remember to send in your comments and your questions, and of course, remember to send your feedback to officialomololu@gmail.com, or better still, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter @officialomololu. I'll be back to wrap up episode 9 of Chronicles of Lolu. And that's it for me on Chronicles of Lolu for today. Thank you to all of you that have tuned in. Thank you for all the possible feedback that you've dropped here so far. Today I spoke about public speaking, and I've hoped that these tips that I've shared with you on the show today have helped you either be a better speaker or start to lay the foundation for you as a public speaker. I've also answered a few questions today. Thank you to all of you that have answered the questions. If you enjoyed today's episode of Chronicles of Lolu, I'm back again same time next week for another exciting episode of Chronicles of Lolu. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember also to follow me on my social media platforms @officialomololu on Instagram and Twitter. We're almost coming to the end of the season. I'm really excited about the prospects of what can happen next season. But between now and then, when I come your way next week, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye bye.
Rolling. Action.
Hello everyone, Lassis is here again. Nah, just joking. To Chronicles of Lolu episode 9. Today I've spoken about public speaking. I've talked about public speaking. Thank you. How did I develop myself? That is very easy.